Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to do a video on my grandmother, McKinney, because she's my great grandmother, and a lot of myths and legends about her have been passed down to me, and I really want her to be remembered. And she is one of my mother's grandparents that she talked most about. And here she is, McKinney. And she was supposed to have been Native American. And hold on, I gotta go get something. I'm just okay. I'm back. I forgot that I had this letter from when I was in high school that told me some information about my grandmother Annis, who her brothers and sisters were, and who her parents were. So I'm just gonna read this letter. I don't even know who sent it to me. All I know is whoever it was, her name was Judy, and she didn't write down a last name. So I'm just going to read it. Hi, Stephen. Sorry it took me so long to reply, but my mother was in the hospital until June 27th, 2001, at which time she passed away. I may have a little information to give you. This is from the census records of 1900. Annis McKinney is the daughter of Jacob and Isabel Moore McKinney. She had brothers, James, John, Jasper, William H. Bill McDonald, and Hannah. Birth dates are as follows. Jacob, June of 1849. Isabel, March of 1851. James, June 1875. John, April 19th, 1882. Jasper, November 2nd, 1885. Annis, April 22nd, 1887. William H., August 13th, 1889. McDonald, April 12th, 1892. Hannah, August 8th, 1893. Jacob and Isabel were married on August 27th, 1872. I hope this gives you a new start on another wing of your family. If this has been helpful to you, please let me know. Judy. Then she writes, P.S. I just found the oldest daughter's name and birth date. Rebecca was born October 26, 1874. So that's what the information I have on Annis's parents and her brothers and sisters. And they were supposed to have been Native American. And both her parents and Millard Clemens's parents both resented their union. So Annis McKinney. Now, she was married to Millard Clemens. And here's another picture of Millard Clemens. Now, I guess I should just go right in and tell you that she had 12 children. Dovey Broughton, Rosie McKinney, Flora Alexander, my grandmother, Mary Alice Isaacs McKinney. Everyone called her Pick. Deller Cole and Delbert Clemens. Deller and Delbert were twins. Laney Alexander and Raymond Clemens. They were a set of twins. Jim Don Clemens, Nathan Clemens, Robert or Bob Clemens, and Desmond Clemens. Now, I don't know the order in which these were born, but Desmond was the youngest. And she had 12 children. And Rosie McKinney was married to Eunice McKinney. And when Rosie died, Eunice married her sister, Mary Alice Isaacs McKinney. So Mary Alice was married twice. So anyway, now Annis, she, like I said, was Native American. She understood herbs and things. She was like a medicine woman from her tribe. And she lived 2 miles from Grassy Springs Church, where she's buried. And in 2 miles from Grassy Springs Church, in a 2-room shack in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't no roads going to where she lived, and this may have been after Millard Clemens had passed away. She lived up there, and she caught possums and things and ate possum, and she was like a midwife, and people, their women, would be delivering babies and getting ready to go into labor, and their husband would go out into the woods trying to find Annis and holler, "Annis, Annis!" And they'd find that 2-room shack, and Annis wouldn't be there because she'd run out ahead and deliver the baby before that man could even find her. And when he'd get home, there Annis would be, and the baby already delivered. She was an amazing woman. And there's a story about she had some kind of quarrel with a neighbor, and she put on a white sheet and waited up in a tree until they rode by on their horses. And I don't know if she had a knife or not, but she might have had a knife to protect herself. I don't know, but she had on a white sheet from what I've been told. And when they rode by, she jumped out of the tree and scared them to death and knocked them off their horses and whooped the fire out of them boys. I don't know who they were. I don't know what it was over, but that's what I heard. She was a woman not to mess with. And Millard Clemens was not a good man to her. I've heard that Robert Clemens, their son, they called him Bobby, he wasn't entirely right. but he wasn't born that way. He was born normal. Grandpa Millard was beating on Annis one time, and he got between Millard and Annis, and he hit Bobby in the head, and he wasn't right after that. And he would always ask babies if they wanted water, and they would ask the parents, "Have you given that baby any water?" And they say that some of them babies, their first words was "no water, no water." So I don't know that. That's just what I've been told. And let's go over some more pictures here. All right. This is Annis's son Nathan Clemens and his wife China. That's Annis's boy Nathan Clemens. All right. This is Annis's boy Jim Don Clemens and his wife Dolly. All right. This is my Uncle Delbert's wife, Sadie. And then my Aunt Dovey. And then that's my Grandma Flora. And this is Myrtle. And then that's Betsy on the porch. So there's Dovey Broughton. This is my Uncle Delbert, one of Annis's children. Born April 14th, 1920. Died July 20th, 1996. All right. And this is my Aunt Laney, one of Annis's children, and that's my Grandpa B. Alexander beside of her. And then this is my grandmother, Flora Clemens Alexander, with my Grandpa B. Alexander. So now I've told this story many times on this channel, but I want it to be on this video also about that old witch that lived in Jackson County that my grandmother Annis talked to. And I'm only going to tell the story that involved her. But my grandmother Annis and my Grandpa Millard Clemens were walking down the road, and they came along that witch. And Granny Annis had one of her babies with her. And that witch wanted to see the baby. He said, "Can I see the baby?" And Granny Annis said, No, I don't want you to see the baby because I've got her all bundled up. I don't want her to get her out because it's cold and nippy out here. And when she got home, that baby started to get sick. And Granny Annis said, "I know that witch has witched my baby. She has witched my baby good." And later, uh, a rooster flew up on the porch of Granny Annis and Grandpa Millard's house, and Grandpa Millard went and grabbed a shotgun and shot that rooster and killed it. And when he did that, that nullified that spell, because what that witch had done is she had used that rooster as a familiar to carry her spell back to Granny Annis and Grandpa Millard's house. But I also want to point out that I do not believe that Granny Annis was afraid of that witch, because she was a medicine woman from her tribe, and she knew things about plants, especially medicinal plants, that she knew things that she could have used to retaliate against that witch, and there were things that she could have done to her if she'd have wanted to. And I'll tell you one thing. My grandmother Annis is one person that I've never met, but that I would not want to mess with. I definitely wouldn't want her on my bad side. So I've got a couple of more pictures that are unrelated, but they're of my family. They're of her grandchildren, well, Flora's children, and I want to share them really quickly here because I've already got them out. And anyway, this one was taken at Pineville when Hazel went to Clear Creek College. And that's at Pine Mountain Lookout, Chain Rock. And from left to right, it's Shirley, Wilbert Lee, Otis, Hazel Jr., Flora, Sadie, and my grandpa. So, let's see. All right. And this one here is Sadie, and in front of her is Betsy, Hazel, Flora, Shirley, and Otis. All right. And this is my grandparents, Thomas Alexander, Flora Clemens Alexander, and my mother when she was a baby. That's Shirley Combs Alexander. And then this is my Aunt Sadie and my grandmother Flora Clemens Alexander. Sadie is on the left and my grandmother is on the right. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoyed me talking about my great grandmother Annis McKinney. I don't want her to ever be forgotten. I want my son Nicholas to remember that he has Cherokee ancestry, and that her whole tribe changed their last name to McKinney so that they wouldn't be sent off somewhere. So I hope that her legacy will be remembered, and I hope I honored her with this video. Well, I'm going to catch you later. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Bye.